हेलो व्हाट्सअप गाइस, कैसे हैं आप सभी लोग। एंड फिर से स्वागत है आपका हमारे कोड पापा के चैनल पे। जैसे कि आप सभी को पता है, हम लोग हमारे वीडियो नंबर 7 पे हैं शायद से। एंड वी आर बैक अगेन विद द कॉन्सेप्ट्स ऑफ सी लैंग्वेज। सो लेट्स स्टार्ट आवर क्लास। फर्स्टली, today's class is on variables, and yesterday we have completed the concept of input and output statements, but few things are related to that which haven't yet completed. So we are going to understand the concepts again, and we are going to apply them in our code. So firstly, it's very important for us to just understand the concept of variables. Let's try to understand a little more on the concept of variables, as it's a little more important. So let's get into the video. So you can see there, today's class is on understanding variables of C. So let's get into the second slide and understand what actually it does say. So this is the content page. Okay, variables. Yesterday as we have discussed, let's recall it, the concept. So as I have said, variables are nothing but a storage places where we store anything. It depends. So variables sizes depend on the type we have defined it. So types are nothing but data types. What sort of data is inserted inside the variable, it's dependent. Like data types we'll be discussing on the later classes in complete detail, where we will be talking about integer, float, character types, and all the data types. Later on, let's come into the topic that variables. So variables are nothing but a storage places where you can store the values of different data types, different data values of different sizes. So data variable can't be a single size, okay? It can be a different sizes in our memory. So that's the main concept. What is variable? Where does it store? Actually, it's nothing but not in a physical world, but it stores the data in our memory. We will be talking about the storage memory, secondary memory in the later videos, so that you can achieve the concept of questioning and answering. Actually, the concept of questioning answer is very better, far better than the concept of learning before and then understanding. So first question yourself, what does this happen, and then we will be going out with the concepts. So here, as you have understood the concept of variables, let's get a little deep inside it, and how should we declare it, how should we initialize it, what are the rules to write a variable name, which are also known as identifiers. So let's understand the concept. See, we have written a little about the variables. So see, variable names, actually what the variable is a storage. This is a storage, isn't it? This is a storage, but inside this it can be anything. So the name for this, what actually we are giving, this is a container. If I change the sticker and give a different branding, then a branding name will be different. If I just take this perfume, okay, if I just simply change its if I just simply change the branding of this, it's a particularly it's a champa something, it's written here, see, you can see. So this is a variable name. If I change the sticker and give a different name to this variable, the variable will be named as that. So the names of a C variable must be identified with a unique name. They should have a different unique name every time you apply. You can't give a single name to a single variable. Like in a whole same program, you can't give the same variable name to the all the variables. Like if a sum of two program we have just done yesterday, you can see the example there. So as you see, we can't give the number 1, number 2 and all the number 3 different same number, like number 1. We can't give it like that, right? So in a same program there should be different variable names and they should be unique. So that's the concept here. Next, understand the second line. What does it say? These unique names are called identifier. That's it. So what the name here is nothing but identifier. Okay, so actually we use a unique name to identify the variable. Okay, variables are a storage place, but the names of the variables are identifiers. Got the point? Superb. So let's get into the next point. Identifiers can be short names. See, identifiers can be very short, like X and Y, simple, or also, what's wrong? Okay, whether leave it. Okay, so actually the third point, the unique names are called identifiers. Okay, so identifiers can be short as X and Y, and also a more descriptive, like huge names like your name, my name, or else is some total volume, like anything. But mostly it's preferred to give a proper descriptive name so that we can understand. Like if you give a number variable as a n, it won't be understandable for a user who is unusual to the coding, so he can't understand it. So code should be very readable, very understandable, very easy to understand, and very few lines of code. it shouldn't be very huge to descriptively, but an unusual coder can't understand. So this is the concept of a variable. Okay, so let's get into the next slide to understand. So I think you have hopefully got the concept of identifiers here. If you have got, and if you are liking the video till now, then surely just subscribe the channel now itself and press the bell icon for all the notifications. So next, coming to the next point here, the general rules of naming variable. It's very important for us to understand how to name a variable. Like, we can't give anything to a name. There are some certain rules according to the C language or else any programming language, that how to name a variable in that particular language. So let's understand, there are few rules. Let's understand a little by these things. So names can contain letters, digits and underscores. See, a particular variable name can contain letters, digits, underscores. Unless these, we can't use any other things like symbols. We can't. Equal to, and, ampersand, these type of, we can't. Okay, this is the first point. So always, if you just declare a variable, ever notice and ever note that you shouldn't use any other special characters than these letters, digits and underscores. Here digits doesn't mean any other things, they are numbers. Okay, 0 to 9. Okay, so numbers must begin with a letter or an underscore. So what we call the names of a variable should start with the underscore, which is actually visible in the this part. Yeah, this is the underscore, or else a letter. It can't be start with a number. They should be starting with underscore or else with a letter. So we'll be seeing out the valid variable names in the later slides. You will be understanding it very well. So this is the second point. You should note it out while declaring what I will talk about, the declaration, initialization and definition of the variables. Before that, let's understand these rules. So names are case sensitive. In C language, as it is a C language, is a case sensitive language, it's very important that to understand these variables are also case sensitive. What does a case sensitive mean? Like here, the small my and where is a little capital one, right? So this one and this one are different. Like it identifies differently with the capital and small. But as of a Python language or a Java language, high level languages, they understand those words as similar. In SQL also, it's a database language. In those languages, you can use the same. It doesn't mean any different. They are same. But in C, which is a assembly level type of language, which is a standard language. In this language, you need to focus on the case sensitivity of a program, of a variable, where these variables are not at all at a just point. So these things are very notable things. So don't think that a variable with this thing also can be called as this thing. So they are totally different. While this thing will be understood in the future when we will coding out a huge programs. Okay. So later, names cannot contain white spaces or special characters. Okay. So what I mean to say is, names, like what the names are of a variable, that are also known as identifiers, can't contain a white spaces. Yeah, so if you're writing a name, okay, like let's understand your name is something Shubham Sharma, so you can't write the whole name with a space. Like there is a Sharma, between Shubham and Sharma there is a space, right? So we can't give that space in variable declarations of any programming language. It's not valid at all. You can give underscore if you want, or else you can use a camel case property, like in which we use the first letters of the two different variables in a capital and all the others in a. Also we can use a snake where alternative letters are in a. I'll show you that in the later videos. It's a very huge concept also. So we have got up with this thing. Let's understand the next. Now our next slide, what does it say? Okay, we have understood the concept of special white spaces. Also, we can't use any special characters. See, I have just told in our first point that these exclamatory marks, hash, percentage, and these type of special symbols can't be used in your program. Reserved words such as int cannot be used as names. Yeah. Also, variables. There are few words which are reserved by the particular language. We will be talking about the keywords in the later videos. They are reserved by the particular language in the standard libraries of those, and those words can't be used as a variable name. This is very important. So you notice it out and you can write it in our notes, or else you can just get the slide in the below videos. Okay. Variables. Yeah. What does this variable say? definition, initialization. Okay, syntax of a variable. So let me tell you how we will be like like initializing our variable. So here we firstly write a data type as usually, as I said, int, float, character. We will be discussing in a later videos. For our present scenario, understand it's nothing but an int, okay, which actually takes an int type of data. Variable name, how you ever want to give a variable name, a valid variable name should be must, and this is an assignment operator. We'll be discussing about the operators in the later videos. For a while you understand this is nothing but a thing which actually assigns the left side to the right side values, okay, and this is the value whatever you want to give. It can be a character, it can be a letter, it can be a word, like whatever, like data, a particular fresh data, it can be a data, okay. So this is the syntax. This is the initialization syntax. Declaration is somewhat different, where we just write the data type, variable name, and here we just give a semicolon, that's it. We don't assign in the particular declaration of the variable. So this is initialization. Definition is somewhat different, so we will be discussing in the later videos. So let's see the few valid identifiers or also variable names, same thing. So let's see the valid and invalid. So see, sum, particularly writing a single series of sum according to the rules is a valid one. See, here the first letter starts with the C, the 4 is a number, and there is an underscore between them and a 5. So this is a valid one. First one is a capital letter, so we need alphabet, underscore, and whatever. So this is a valid one. This is also a valid one with multiple and a longer one. So this is also a valid variable name. True is also a valid variable name. You can start with the underscore. So this is also a rule. So we can use this one also as a variable name. So invalid are like this. You can't start with a number. So this is an invalid. Yeah, X name. So you can't start with an this type of Roman values, or else use actually it's perfect, but the thing is you have just used as like of a special symbol here in between these two letters, so it's invalid. Also the name with spaces, see here we have spaces in between them, so it is not a valid variable. And then starting with the numbers is not a valid variable. You giving up a keyword which is a reserved word of a C language or a particular language is not a valid variable. Also using a special variable like this, see, and ampersand symbol or and symbol is not a valid variable. So let's get into. So I think hopefully you have got the concept of variables, the rules to write a variable name, that is identifiers, and also a particular series of identifiers. So I hopefully think so you have got up with these things. These are things which are available in a variables. So in the later videos we will be understanding the declaration, initialization, and the definitions of a variable. Then we will be going to the constants, and later we will be going to the files of a C language. So today's video is that simple. We will be keeping out the videos little shorter because we are getting a huge amount of longer videos. So let's stop the video right here, and we will be meeting you out next video. So till then, take care and bye bye.